to monitor, to know how the
Response.
boy was responding to, because each time you do anesthesia, it's not something that you just do and leave. You don't do and leave. You keep on monitoring to see how the person is responding to that kind of stuff. And nobody did that. That is negligence, like outright negligence that we have seen. Now, where I want us to go to now is to look at this issue of why we keep on having these things in hospitals. Is it because that this very manpower are not well trained, or the fact that we have issue of few medical personnel doing a whole lot, that fatigue can even set in, and they may want to rest? Take for instance, sometimes you go to hospital, you see a medical doctor who sits one place in the morning from 8 a.m. and sees patients from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. Sometimes I became asking myself, what could be the accuracy of the diagnosis they run for somebody who will sit in one place and see retinue of patients? Would that person be able to run a correct diagnosis, knowing that fatigue can set in? Even we who are in the media, if you stay in the studio for like 4 hours, you get fatigue. You keep on wanting, how do I escape from here? So for people like that, how do they do it? Because now in Nigeria we have this doctor to patient ratio, which is troubling. I think if you check some record, you see that we have our patient to doctor ratio about one doctor to about 2,500 patients, whereas they are saying that the right thing should have been between one doctor to 600 patients, or something close to 600, so that the person will be able to have this thorough diagnosis while the person is still fully concentrated. So Tony, this issue of negligence, is it about manpower, lack of quality manpower, or this issue of the fact we have several lapses in the hospital where we now have medical personnel doing more than they can handle?
I think it's more like, I wouldn't say lack of manpower, because if you are committed to any work, no matter the load, you can take as much as you can. And I wouldn't say it's just because of the lengthy period these people are there. My sister, you are aware, died as a result of the same negligence. My immediate elder sister, she had dialysis, but immediately after dialysis, the response, her body could not take such response. A lot of things changed immediately. In fact, there was this call for a doctor to be called. I wouldn't want to mention the name of the hospital, but the hospital is a known hospital in Anambra State, very popular. And they find out that, in fact, those who were with her at that point, we are looking around, looking to call a doctor, but they could not see any. If you look at the place where the dialysis, she had it, and where she was, put back, and we are doctors. I don't know why doctors usually stay more often, in most hospitals that have spaces, far off from where these patients are, and just come routinely for their movement. And most times, even the nurses they put over there, they have time to go through social media, watch all these things they watch. Situations where these medical personnel have a lot of distractions. Yes, because I know you are talking about the patients to doctor ratio in Nigeria, which is very poor, because immediately the doctor will not be there all the time monitoring the patients, but he can as well delegate such monitoring to a nurse who also calls his attention. But when most of these things are done, these nurses, medical personnel, they prefer to be on social media. Some of them, not all of them. I'm not indicting every one of them. Good number of them prefer to be on social media as against monitoring patients who either had been sedated, who had been operated upon, who had been given one drug administration or not. Because monitoring is a key. Body responds to some of these things in different ways. So that is negligence we are talking about. How do these medical personnel monitor patients? Is it an hourly thing, or most times in 3 hours? For me, there should be proper and, in fact, maybe an hour to hour monitoring. if a doctor can delegate such function, is important. These things have killed quite a lot of people in this country. Because if you look at Eurocare, for instance, and this hospital, I know for sure that it came into existence in 2017. And look at the stories we're having from different people. And it's one of the biggest hospitals in this country. In the areas we talk about cardiology and heart care, diagnostics, anesthesiology and pain management and other specialties. They are known for some of these things. They have branch in Ghana. There's no doubt. But I don't know if these things also happen in their Ghanaian branch. We are actually, because if you look at some of the contributing factors to this, you talked about a doctor in Nigeria, as we talk, I'm talking about 2025 report. I'm not talking about 2024 or 2022. We have one doctor to about 4,500 patients. So it's a case of between a doctor and 4,000 to 5,000 patients. That is one of the worst ratios you can ever see. Just as you mentioned, where it should ordinarily be one doctor to about 600 patients. But we are having such a ratio. It is quite bizarre, quite obnoxious. So that is the situation. But we know very well that some of these doctors attend to multiple patients, and at times they may not have the time, they may not have what it takes to monitor every patient from. But I said they can delegate. But we are talking about a private hospital, because that private hospital, I know what they are known for. So I don't want to talk about everything about the hospital, but the truth remains
that it has happened to 2 children before.
That is the point. 2017 from now should be how many years? Should be roughly
the same person.
It doesn't tell good about what we've been hearing, and their medical bills are quite expensive. I don't want to go there anyway. You cannot in any way make people to pay through their nose, and you can't give them the care they deserve. It's totally out of place. We are not indicting them because we are still waiting for investigative report. There must be proper investigation. We are not concluding that it happened this way, it happened that way, so that nobody should say you don't make conclusions where investigation is ongoing. But we are making observations based on narrations, that we are told happened. But everything is subject to investigation and possible the investigative report, because we are waiting for that from Lagos State government. Let it not be like the NSAS report, the one that happened at the toll gate. Everybody was waiting for that report. At the end of the day, the report came and absorbed everybody. So let it not be like NSAS, because as we speak now, this issue is making headlines in most news channels in the world because of Chimamanda DJ, a renowned writer, public figure, world figure, and when this is happening, it doesn't speak good about a country. But I'm not saying that this cannot happen in USA, because we have seen situations where things like this do happen. Negligence is everywhere.
All right.
Even in United States, in United Kingdom, everywhere. But we are saying that we cannot tolerate such in Nigeria. Okay. And frequency is the issue.
All right, then we take a break now, attend to some commercials. We'll be right back.
Udala Radio, 104.7 FM.
Listen, country people, surgery death full everywhere nowadays due to ignorance. Oh yes, now make Dr. Gospower Idimogo, President and National Coordinator Anti-Drug Abuse Movement, come naked for grounds where say enough is enough. Time don't reach to begin liberate and stop all this stubborn disease. Then when no green man and woman drink water, keep cup. The Anti-Drug Abuse Health Education Program on radio, now to save people life and wipe out all those androgenic and nosocomial chronic diseases them from person body system, either communicable or non-communicable, associated with drug abuse and infection resistance, leading to electromagnetic forces where they scatter brain. They cause organ system failure like liver function, kidney, heart, lungs, ulcer wound, and hypertension, to blood lumen blockage. So always join the Anti-Drug Abuse Health Education Program on radio, coordinated by Dr. Gospower Idimogo, Medical Director, Sunshine Integrated Hospital, Onitsha. Phone 08033206819 or WhatsApp 08109 080-114333. Country people, be warned, life no get duplicate.
Join Anti-Drug Abuse Health Education every Wednesday by 8:45 a.m. on Udala Radio 104.7 FM Onitsha.
You're listening to Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic. You're listening to the Polity. Get involved now.
Still the Polity on Udala Radio 104.7 FM, and of course, we're going to switch gears to some political matters now. Tony, over the weekend, I'm pretty sure that you saw that banter over the place of Abia State political, would I call it, where Abia State's governorship stool is going to by the next election, because a past governor of that state, Ojizo Kalo, was claiming that some of the projects that Governor Alex Oti is parading as his are projects that he did during his administration, and his words were just repainted. Even actress Doris Ogala came under fire for coming out to also say that everything that Ojizo Kalu said is the truth. Not also forgetting the fact that in the heat of the matter between Doris and Chris Okafor, people from her ex-husband's place came out to say stuff and accused her of having a relationship, however illicit, with Ojizo Kalu. But that's just on one side of everything that happened over the weekend. But let's look at the true state of things in Abia State. And I really need to understand why some governors, ex-governors, are obsessed with the things happening in the states. We keep talking about killing political godfatherism. I don't know what else to call what Ojizo Kalu and the likes of Wike have been about in states that they governed in the past, Tony.
You know, the truth is, I will only speak to facts. I don't know about all these banter, but it's political. What do you expect? Abia State is under the statesmanship or leadership of Alex Chioma Oti of Labour Party, and we have had different governors in that very state, and they have had their time, and we've seen much they were able to do, and the state cannot be said to be well developed under their time. You know, I can't just see that. But I don't want to join the bandwagon. I can only speak to facts. I don't speak to anything. I don't speak to sentiment. I don't speak to emotion. I speak to facts. Ojizo Kalu, his statement is political, there's no doubt. You can't just come out and say that somebody is repainting the road you built. Most roads built during their time, many of them had gone comatose. I don't think if any may be standing at this point. You remember you left office in 2007. Just next year we make it about 20
years. Almost 20 years.
20 years. And we know the situation of some of these roads. It's not expected of any of such roads built during your time to still stand to date. So you don't come out and say somebody is repenting. It's a political statement. And at the same time, you can't just come out, because at one point you had come to say that Alex Oti is working. I remember the video is still trending. You pressed the governor for some of giant stride. At the same time, because the governor, you asked him to do something to support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and possibly you are, supporting your brother mascot. All of a sudden, you started making this statement. Recall, the same Alex Oti beat your brother. You supported your brother in the last election, 2023 general election. You supported your brother, but Alex Oti beat your brother. So that is by the way. So if you go by what we know in that very state, because I remember he is the political grandfather of that very state. Orji Uzor give it to him. He is the political grandfather. Most of these people you are seeing right now once worked with him or were with him. If you look at even Engineer Baribe was once a deputy governor under Orji Uzor. Many of us have forgotten that until he was removed because he opposed Orji Uzor policies. They tried to impeach him. The impeachment didn't work until he got back to second term. He brought in another deputy governor. Even Okezie, so some of these people were once with him. Theodore Orji was once his chief of staff. Remember, he was sworn in on the 27th of May 2007 as against 29th of May because EFCC was after him. Orji Uzor made sure that he handed over power back to him 2 days before the time. We have forgotten that. But in all of this, I remember that Orji Uzor from time he was there, I think his major project, apart from introducing free education from primary to secondary level, where he paid the examination fee, that is WAEC, WASE, and then all these for students. About just that, I think he did that. I think he built and equipped the Abia State University Teaching Hospital and also recruited medical staff. Yes, he focused on infrastructure development. I think he did some roads and other public facilities. I know he called himself then Action Governor. The media town, if you go to Abia State when Orji Uzor was governor, every moment on radio, his name is being, they had different songs for him. But he was more of a media governor. But if you look at Theodore Orji, who took over from him from 2007 to 2015, but I know that Theodore Orji constructed the 10,000 capacity international conference center in Umuahia after the Ministry of Justice building. Theodore Orji did that. I'm also aware that he built over 220 roads. I'm talking about Theodore Orji. And then we also did about 650 classroom blocks and provided overseas scholarship to more than 50 Abia youth. I'm also aware that Theodore Orji prioritized security, peace. In fact, he cited that as his main achievement. So, the Osisioma Depot Road and supporting power project, of course, he embarked upon. I know Theodore Orji invested in health, agriculture, and vehicle provision for state officials. And that's much I know Theodore Orji did. Okezie from 2015 to 2023, I know he asphalted about 18 roads in Aba. Many people don't even remember that. Yes, he re-asphalted anyway. Some of the roads built by Orji Uzor. Okezie re-asphalted about 18 of them. In fact, I don't want to talk about the governor's lodge with the one that brought problem.
And that's probably because the roads were not good anymore.
That is
so how can he be claiming that almost 20 years later?
Okezie re-asphalted about 18 roads in Aba. And I know some people, but he couldn't do more in 8 years.
People that live in Aba even testify to the fact that they have not had it better. People that were born and raised there.
The truth remains that under Alex Chomoti, from 2023 to this very day, of course, he has initiated transformative infrastructure projects, road construction, the new Enugu City development, rehabilitation of over 200 classrooms, while constructing, I think, about close to 500 new ones. He has recruited about 2,000 teachers. I don't know last any government in Abia State recruited teachers. Yes, he did. I'm talking about the governor of Abia State. He did recruit about 2,000 teachers. Though in Anambra State it was about 10,000, right? If I can still recall. But I don't know if Oti and then... I don't know if Ibazu and Theodore Orji, I don't know how or whether they did. I can't recall. But Oti has done that. In fact, you remember his campaign promises. He was talking about economic growth, support for regions like Old Bende and Okwangwa. Overall, we've seen some road projects he has done, not repenting. In fact, if you look at these three governors, I must let you know that apart from Orji Uzor and Okezie, Theodoji, and we cannot rate Oti because Oti has not done 8 years. We are talking about governors that were there for a good 8 years. Oti has just done 3 years plus, if my memory serves me right. He has done 3 years. But Orji Uzokalo was there for good 8 years. And I must give it to Theodoji. Because Orji Uzokalo attacked him because he failed to be his political stooge. He attacked him, he used his daily newspaper. We know his daily newspaper. 2 of them. He used it to attack this man. But this man defied all odds. In fact, even produced his successor. So I remember how many times Orji Uzokalo contested election and lost. Since he left governor, was it not when he became senator? He had been contesting all this while, but he keeps failing. Yes, he can proud himself to be the one that brought APC in Abia State. Give it to him, no problem. Because every one of them is now joining APC in that very state. He should learn how to allow governors in power to do their work. He never allowed Theodoji to do his work. But Theodoji, take it or leave it, outperformed him as a governor. He outperformed Orji Uzokalo as a governor. But one can also understand the dynamics during their times, during their tenure in office. I heard one governor who was saying, was it not Wike? I don't know the governor that said it. Maybe you can help me to remember the governor who said it, that the money what a present governor is making now is, well, in fact, he made in 4 months was entirely.
It's Orji Uzokalo.
If Orji Uzokalo,
he was talking to Alex Oti, saying that the money he has gotten so far was the entire. Okay, so the money he got in 4 months was the entire money he got in his 8 years when he was in power. So, but Tony, let me quickly ask this very question, because Orji Uzokalo, the genesis of this whole thing was the fact that Orji Uzokalo said he's going to ensure that President Bola Tinubu wins, or the APC wins Abia State in 2027. And after he made that very statement, a media aide to the governor responded saying that they are going to ensure that Orji Uzokalo does not return to the Senate. And the heavens were let loose, and Orji Uzokalo began to fire cannons from different quarters, to the point of even trying to organize a meeting. In that very meeting, that meeting had Senator Orji Uzokalo as chairman. It had Senator T.A. Orji as first vice chairman. It also had Dr. Okezi Bazo as second vice chairman. So he's trying to galvanize former governors of that very state for them to come and team together and ensure that OT would not return in 2027. So, Tony, do you think that Orji Uzokalo has the capacity, political sagacity, to be able to stop OT from
being re-elected?
From being re-elected in 2027?
The question itself for me is out of place. Why? You support, if you had such capacity, why didn't your brother, mascot Uzokalo, why didn't he become?
You simply think he doesn't?
He doesn't have such capacity. He supported mascot. Oti beat him. Beat him black and blue.
Kanu was claiming that Oti wouldn't have become governor if he did not offer his support, because he was claiming that he offered support to Oti, that Oti came to him and he gave his support with his team, and that was why he emerged.
I think it is neither here nor. Everybody will claim being part of success, but nobody will claim being part of failure.
Well, knowing the political trajectory and how politicians do, how do you think it's really true that he had a brother contesting and then he was giving Oti his support?
It's somehow unlogical.
I mean, it's illogical.
It's non-logical. That's the point I'm trying to make here. So your brother was there. So the thing is, I want to address that very statement he made.
All right, quickly, because we need to address this category.
Because I remember around 2000, Abia State was receiving a monthly federal allocation, I think about 1 billion or 800 million as monthly allocation, but the dollar as at that time, because what we used to measure the value of money is the exchange in dollars. That's what we used to measure the value of money. Yes, if you look around that period, Abia was receiving 800 million, 900 million, 1 billion as monthly allocation as far back as 2000. But I can tell you that a dollar, maybe to naira, as at that point, naira was about 86 naira to a dollar. So you can imagine so if you use the current exchange rate, where naira to dollar is about 1,500 naira, you can understand the difference. So you measure money not based on figure, but based on value. Somebody should tell Ojiso Kalu that money is measured based on value, not the nominal figure. Because you can't imagine somebody who received 800 million naira as a monthly allocation when, if you convert it to dollar, you can understand the amount it was. And right now, divide it by, you can understand that it's no money. Even when we know now, the governors, of course, they are receiving so much in FAC allocation. Some receive as high as 10 billion naira as we speak presently. Some do receive 11 billion because of what.
But technically, the 1 billion of the era when a dollar was 86 naira is almost the equivalent to 10 billion of a time when
it could even be more than. When they come out to make such statements, somebody should remind them, please, what was the price of dollar?
And what were you able to do with that?
What was the price of dollar? Don't come and tell us that the amount, maybe he has calculated all the amount he received in 8 years. It might not really be up to 10 billion as monthly allocation. But what was the price of dollar? So the issue is, Oti, I know, yes, he has got some media support. Some people have said even things that he has not even done, because there were people that were saying that even the power project in Aba, he brought it, and we were here to say he did not do that one, that it was something Barton Naji had started earlier before. People had attributed so many things Oti did not do to him, which we always refute here. But if the ones we know he has done, we come out and say it.
Absolutely.
He has just spent 3 years, and you cannot rate him with anybody now until he has completed his 8 years. We now begin to do the drawing and do all the asymmetrical work based on comparison. So you can't compare him with anybody. Some people can say that we can even compare him at this level, that he has outperformed these people and other people. The truth remains that sometimes there were works some of these governors did that we never attributed to them because of the kind of politics they played, especially Zibazu. Yes, at one point we said he was one of the worst governors, but nobody can also give it to him that he did some works in Aba. I knew he did a bridge. I mean, a flight, but one would say in 8 years.
Tony,
that's just the point.
There are reports. It said last week, I'm sure you must have seen this secret document where it was reported that about 70 bandits are moved. There are moves to release 70 bandits in Katsina State. According to the Katsina State government, in a report that was released yesterday, it is all part of moves to, foster peace, part of a peace deal. The state government said peace deals are made in different parts of the world, and so this is no different. And also yesterday, reports emerged that there are parts of Katsina where bandits are giving community members a levy of 50,000 naira tax to pay, especially farmers. And I am curious to find out what you think about all of these security developments, especially at an age and time. We are talking about not negotiating with these people at a time that America has said they're going to come in guns a-blazing, have actually attempted to, blow up parts of the hideouts of these elements. Tony,
I think these things have been going on before now. Forget the fact that we are just getting to know that. There was a time Sultan of Sokoto also shouted like that, something of very close to that. These people have their parallel government, there's no doubt. They have set up their parallel government to collect revenue.
So do you think the government of the day, in Katsina State, is not pandering to whatever they want?
They had contributed to what is going on. Remember when the governor Masare went to the bush to negotiate with these people, he gave them money, he gave them billions. So the money you had given them in the past, they have also acquired more weapons to take more
people,
sweat of species, sweat of lands, and also now constituted their own government, go on to take taxes. When you were negotiating, what do you think you were doing?
What do you think of the 70 bandits that are they're making moves to let go?
I think if you ask me, the issue of banditry in this country, I've said we have not done what we are supposed to do.
Releasing bandits that we are arrested.
That's what I'm saying, that many things they have infiltrated everywhere. They have conspirators, they have people at different places they work with. Even those you may think that are speaking against them. Is it because Gumi has come out openly and we are targeting Gumi, we are calling him all sorts of names? There are so many Gumis.
So what do you think of peace deals?
See, no peace deal with bandits makes any sense. No peace deal. How can you make peace deal with enemy who will come back even more stronger to hunt you? What kind of peace deal are you making? Have you seen any serious sane country with any form of peace? I think most times they always go on that when it comes to either prisoner swap or releasing some hostages and and they will still come back heavy on those people and hunt them down. The president said the other time that he has directed the security agencies to go after all these people, hunt them down. But what has happened? Have we had any impact? Have we recorded any impact? See, the thing is, we have not shown. We are waiting for United States of America. We are all waiting for Trump. Everybody's waiting for Trump. And even the one Trump did, say we have seen escalation. After the strike in Sokoto, I said, why didn't they strike Niger? I said it the other day, before you know it, we had incidents in Niger. So the truth remains that we are still playing game with banditry, terrorism. We are not serious. We have not demonstrated any seriousness. So if you talk about those who have been released or those who have been reabsorbed or those who, they meander. They move around. They have a kind of free spaces to work with. Are you not even, you may be shocked that some of these bandits could be in high positions. Yes, somebody who through his office coordinates some of the activities of bandits. Is the person not a bandit? Leave all those things.
All right, then it's really a sad thing that at this age and time we're having so many issues. The health sector is a disgrace, and then look at what's happening in the security sector, having to release 70 bandits and telling us that the release has facilitated the release of 1,000 kidnapped people. I've been asking myself, how do you make sense of 1,000
It's very,
people
very disappointing. The releasing bandits is very, and that's why
kept when they are kidnapped.
The most important thing is that is why we will not get out of this quagmire. We will not get out of this mess. We keep repeating the same mistake. Have you seen anybody who repeat mistakes? We repeat mistakes. Mistakes have become a culture and tradition in this country. We keep on repeating them, hoping for the angels from heaven to come and perform miracle.
All right, then we take a break, attend to some commercials. It will be time for you to join the conversation in a bit. Do stay.
Udala Radio, 104.7 FM.
Quality bread, Wendy's bread, for your family breakfast. Wendy's bread, Wendy's bread, Mama, Papa, they like Wendy's bread, Wendy's bread, even children, they like Wendy's bread, Wendy's bread, Wendy's bread, you get the better tasty, we go sweet your belly. Wendy's bread, Wendy's your body, chama. Wendy's bread,
Wendy's bread, tasty bread. You can contact us on our official address, Second Business Park, Enugu Road, GRA, beside Onitsha, Anambra State. We also have another branch at St. Michael Plaza at Tandy Road. Also contact us on 070-1149-1571. Wendy's bread, your tasty bread.
Wendy's bread.
When you think of roofing, think of strength. When you think of durability, think of beauty. And when you think of all three combined, think Best Aluminium MFG Limited. At Best Aluminium, we don't just manufacture roofing sheets. We create protection, comfort, and style for your home and business. Whether you're building from scratch or repairing an old roof, we have exactly what you need. Our products include stone-coated roofing sheets, aluminum roofing sheets, and colored roofing sheets. But that's not all. We also offer residential and commercial roofing services, roof repairs, gutters, emergency roofing services, and even durable cookwares that bring quality to your kitchen. Visit us today at 30/32 Anyika Street, Awada Obosi, Anambra State, or call us right now on 0806-416-2374 or 0706-059-6203. With Best Aluminium, you're investing in peace of mind, in beauty, and in the future of your home. Because when it comes to roofing, the best choice is always Best Aluminium MFG Limited. Tomorrow's technology today.
NEPA don take light again. Wetin I fit do? Every day fuel don cost. How person wan take survive? I go cook soup today, tomorrow e go sour.
My people, why you dey stress when the sun dey your head for free? Switch to the affordable solar energy wey Wascana Solar Company dey give small businesses and homes across Naija, whether na barbing salon o, restaurant o, supermarket o, or your 2 or 3 bedroom apartment. Wascana Solar get correct durable solar wey go serve you wella. No more NEPA wahala, no more expensive fuel. Let the sun power your business and home for free. And no forget o, solar fans, solar lights, everything dey available. Call Wascana Solar now for 0806 374 2374. I repeat am, 0806 374 2374 or send email to waskanasolar@gmail.com. Visit their office near Olive Relief after Marble Hill School Junction, Okpanam Road, Asaba, or Classic Line Zone 2, A4 Electrical Dealers International Market, Obosi. Wascana Solar, Okumube.
Udala Radio, 104.7 FM.
You're listening to The Polity. Get involved now.
Let's hear you now. 0803-221-6973, 0803-827-6694. Those are the numbers for you to call to be a part of the conversation. You have 2 minutes. Go straight to the point and please be as objective as possible. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Chisom. Good morning to you. Mr. Speaker, good morning.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
I'm the Franklin. This is Honorable Monday Johnson. I'm calling in from Obosi this morning.
Go ahead, please.
I want to direct my thoughts on 2 issues. Number one is on the death of Chimamanda Ngozi's child. I want to start by sympathizing with the family. It's actually unfortunate. This is what the common Nigerians are facing on a daily basis. Just like Franklin rightly said, the reason why these things are coming up this way and they're making headline is because it happens to a figure. But there are people who are suffering this on a daily basis. I must tell you, you call the numbers that are available, nobody will give you attention. So it's unfortunate. Most times God can use bad things like this to expose certain things that are happening to some innocent people. So in as much as I pay my condolences to her family, I will also want them to do something, not only trying to actually deal with the damage that has happened to them, but actually have that mind of doing something to make sure that ordinary Nigerians do not suffer continuously these things as they go by. Having said that, on the Abia State issue, what is happening in Abia State now is just like Mr. Speaker you said, is pure politics. I traveled to my village this December and I saw how things are going. I must say, it just like you rightly said, if you say that what the present government received in 4 months is what you received in 8 years, I think just like Mr. Speaker, you took time to actually pieces it. We should actually put it in perspective. Because of the value of currency, I mean our money then, what I can tag as our economic health then and the economic health presently. So we can actually understand it from that perspective to know that there's no base on that point. And I want to summarize by saying that in as much we have not started politicking, but I would say that a greater percentage of Abians are actually queuing in behind the president because he's doing marvelously well and he's going to do more in the next 4 years. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Hello there. Let's hear you.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. I'm greeting you. I'm Dr. Tony. Good morning, sir.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yeah. Please let me just talk about my state, Abia. The truth is that I grew up in my state, Abia. before traveling to other states. And what we've seen recently, no, but for the first time I can travel in and out of my state. I reside here in Onitsha, but I traveled as many times as I wanted for the first time in the last 25 years. So, and those agitating for the removal of OT know that they failed, excluding Theodoji, who tried a bit. But that's our own brother, OKZ, failed us the most. Because when he was coming up, I told my people, personally, my name is Sonia Kwere, I told my people in my village that this man is going to fail because the source is coming from. It's not good. Nobody will come out from failure and give you success. Sorry to use those words, but that's the truth. And at the end of the day, he could only build us one bridge. And ask us, are we going to use lead to be crossing the bridge, which caused people to start crossing the bridge with lead, so that he could complete it. In 8 years, he told us that he brought us Domino and Chicken Republic as developments in Abia State. So I don't know. Anybody opposing, in fact, I am a member of Abia Youth in Abia Youth. It's a WhatsApp platform where we communicate with our people, all Abia indigenous, both in Nigeria and outside. They do receive my messages when I post there. Because those opposing Alesoti are those that failed Abia State. The road that my community is using is the road that was built when Dr. Sam Bakwe was the governor of Imo State. That was when I was in primary one. That was 1979. That's the road in my community. And it has received the first part this last year. And they are continuing the work. So you now want to tell me that somebody that left the road and left Port Harcourt Road, you don't go to Aba today and tell anybody that Alesoti is your enemy. They will lynch you there. Sorry to say it that way, but that's the truth. The moment you enter Aba anywhere and stand and tell somebody you hate Alesoti, you're in trouble already. And everybody knows how after people react. So let them go and solve their problem. As for removing OT, it will be difficult for them, although we know what APC is capable of doing. But as for OT, it will be very difficult for them. I will be in my village that day during elections. Yes. Thank you very much.
All right, then. Let's hear you. Hello, good morning. All right, then you should try to reconnect 0803-221-6973 0803-827-6694. Good morning. Hello there.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to the team. This is engineers who will be calling from Oka.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, on Chimamanda Adichie, it's an unfortunate incident. But at times, all these class, there is not really much class in it. That kind of problem might be handled in some state or federal government hospitals. And all these private, they are good at covering incidents when it happens. The Amak here is a very good hospital. This Amak, one of my cousins in London, has referred me there, telling me they are good, they can handle it. Sometimes all these class. There's not much.
Does Amako have MRI machine?
You said?
Does Amako have MRI machine?
I think they do. They do, yes.
Well, they were in Lagos actually, not in Anambra. They were in Lagos, so I don't see the correlation.
The unfortunate event
he's just trying to say that public hospitals are also good.
Abia State. Dr. Tony, he referred to OT with the power that is not the one that brought it. Yes, he might say he didn't bring it as governor, but he had a role. He played a role in it. If they are coming for public office, you'll be asked, what have you done for the state, the community, or the constituency before? Even the recently passed Anambra government election, most of the candidates are asked, what have you done for Anambra? So, and the power company has usually identified that he played some roles before they got the power there. So you should give him that accolade. Thank you.
All right then. We're live on Facebook. It is Udala Radio 104.7 FM. You can drop your comment right there. We take it to one or two more calls. Then we go. Hello, good morning. Hello. Yo, hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, this is Uche from Ella.
Go ahead, Uche.
Well, I'm an Abia man. I'm from Aba, Obingwa, to be precise. But I live in Delta. I bought Oslo Carlo. I think Oslo Carlo is just nurturing something. His eye is somewhere. His eye is somewhere. Oslo Carlo wants to be the senior president. And that is what he's fighting for. He wants to, do all he could to just do what he can do so that they can give him the Senate presidency. But I must tell you, he has failed already. During his time, we know what happened that time. What he did with his mother, this is Eunice Lokalo or Dokanamba. That time, we know what happened in our state that time. As totally said, Odilo Lokalo was an internet governor. He was a social media governor. Then he succeeded by handing over to Odilo Lokalo. Even his brother was the chief of staff there, Master Lokalo. He handed over to Chief Tudor Oji. Then Tudor Oji, after 2 years, and he left the party to Abga. After Abga, he came back to PDP. The Lokalo ran for presidency in 2007, and he came third. Then in 2011, he ran for Senate. He lost. In 2015, he came back again and he won. All these things he's just doing. He lost then. It was in 2019 that he won the Senate seat. He was succeeded by Mao Ohabonwa. This is just doing. It's just a personal interest. But the Carlo cannot come to Abba and pull a crowd. That time they were using federal government that time to win election. That's Obingwa, national government, Oshimangwa, and the Abba South. Like we say, the North has the voter number. If you come to the state, Abba has much voting strength. So I don't think all the color have anything to do to unseat Odi.
All right.
Come next election.
Thank you.
So that's my take.
All right then. I just also correct something that was said earlier. Amako doesn't have an MRI machine. That thing costs about 900 million naira. And from the information reaching me, Nandi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital just installed one last November. And so, while some general hospitals or public hospitals are good, some facilities needed are not available. And when I asked Tony that question earlier about the state of the facilities, I was hinting at why some of these things, however expensive, they should be at least in some maybe general hospitals and stuff like that. But unfortunately, it is what it is. One more call and we head over to Facebook. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my Chisom.
Good morning. Do this in a minute, please.
Good morning, my speaker, Tony Becker.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
From our ancient kingdom. You see, making peace with bandits in another year or there. If you make a man who makes millions in a tax, he makes peace with him and get him 200,000. He just makes off that peace. So making peace with the bandits cannot work. You are just manuing them to do more. You get the money, they use the money and put more stronger weapons to control their cash. I don't know how our people do things. They don't do that kind of thing in the Western world. Who's kind peace? The person who is fighting for survival. He says he make peace and allow him to continue. I'm sorry.
All right.
Thank you, my speaker.
Thank you. Let's head over to Facebook, Franklin.
Can you recall that there was a time around the age football players who were feeling MLI's crime because they didn't have facilities for us to run the test. So we'll take some overage players, and once they get to competitions and they run the test, all of them will fail it. So that was how it was like that. So you don't find such facility in every hospital you have around here. On our Facebook page, we have this coming from Wisdom Peter. Thank you for watching. Maazimori Chikwadoromo Sinachi says it's quite laughable that the failure is using a way to safeguard his failed system. Ojuzakalo is just trying to bewitch the market and create a room of hatred among Alex Oti supporters. We all know that the Abia governor has really transformed the state. And he posted from FM Onitsha. Arosa Bartholomew and from Inoma says, my condolences to a woman that I admire so much, Chimamanda Adichie, for experiencing what average Nigerians go through daily. What would you expect? Okay, I'm trying to reconstruct this. What have you expected? Something exceptional from the private hospital? Nothing worked, nothing is working, and nothing will work in this country until it is reset. There's an urgent need for everyone to join forces to change these ugly narratives. Senator Zakalu should allow Abians to breathe fresh air. He began the process of bad governance in Abia State before the emergence of Alex Oti, and the difference is clear. Udala Aloysius says it's very sad enough that since Friday morning there has been no light at Oduma Obosi. That should be Oduma, right? Not Oduma. Okay, he wrote Oduma here. Yet EDC brought increased bill. How can just sumo used by members of the yard get a bill of 120,000 naira for 1 month? And he just sumo. He's asking, is this not madness for crying out loud? Okay. He goes on to say, the issue with our health institutions is lack of checks by institutions concerned. Do you know some hospitals only put light during night hours? If you ask them, they will tell you that they are trying to reduce cost. And for him, it's quite funny. He talked about rate of fake product in the market, saying that it's quite worrisome. Okay, he posted for more about now. And then Anom's Emmy says it's a pity that Chimamanda lost her twin baby due to medical negligence. May God rest the baby's soul, and may God grant the family fortitude to bear the okay. It is not irresponsible loss. Sorry, I'm saying it. It's irreparable loss. It cannot be replaced. Okay, so and he's asking Tony to call the name of the hospital. Okay, I'm sorry that we might not get that. As Hillary says, past criminals are angry over the good governance OT is giving to Abians. What they can't do in 24 years, OT did in less than 2 years. Abians are not fools to allow APC or PDP rule them again. After OT finishes his 8 years, his wife will take over, followed by his son. Abians, okay. Okay, so I think that should be Abians will cede the seat of power to Chimoti family for life. Okay, Angoli Okoye, thank you for watching from Umoji. And Anam Semi says, for those parading themselves in Abia State, they are just bunch of failed Abia politicians who would like to cut their nose to spite their faces. They will surely be sent back to the wilderness of politics. And these are the reactions we had on our Facebook page.
All right, then we're rounding off the conversation at this point. Dr. Tony Olisambeki, what would your final words be?
We need to invest in our health institution. It's very unfortunate that MRI scan 1.5 Tesla MRI scan machine is not something common. You say that the amount is about 900 million. That's a refurbished one.
No, for the refurbished, you're looking at 350 million.
I'm telling you, I'm talking about Tesla 1.5 MRI. I don't know the brand you're
Probably
talking about.
We are working with different statistics.
Yeah, I'm talking about a particular brand, which is, regarded as one of the best brands. Is about $1 million. And $1 million should be about 1.6 billion naira. So that's what it is. And then you can also understand that machine will give you everything. If you subject your body, it gives you the clear picture, detailed picture, even the brain, the nervous system, the blood, everything. It will be like black and white. Everything will be so clear, so detailed. You see yourself. In fact, you see your inner self. So that's why the machine, it use strong magnetic field, just like I explained during the analysis. We must invest in our health institutions.
Absolutely,
I expect public health institutions to have these machines, have the best. We are not doing that. People are dying. It's unfortunate.
And we are having monies from these systems scattered to foreign countries and
they spend it there. That's why they go for medical tourism. Jingoism.
There is something we have not actually digged into.
We don't have time to dig now.
It's either we have medical personnel who lack capability, who lack capacity. They are poorly trained, because sometimes you see simple procedure that ordinarily they should be able to run, and they make mistakes. You'll be asking yourself, is it lack of capacity or they do not have the facilities that can enable them to be able to do that?
Because they just do stuff and get away with it.
Why I'm saying this? A friend of mine had once gone to a hospital, and he was supposed to get prescription for 20 milligram of a certain drugs, and the doctor prescribed 500 milligrams.
Excuse me.
So I do not know whether it's lack of capacity, poorly trained quackery, or is because this issue of negligence, it comes from different dimensions, which we need to look into. Because if you look at the estimate, like Tony said, it's not limited to Nigeria. Worldwide, every year, there's a record that about 250,000 persons die from doctors' negligence, which in our own case, we have to rise and deal with it.
We rise to deal with it. Thank you for being a part of today's edition of the Polity. Tomorrow again, keep a date with us, 9:15 down to 11 a.m. Until then, I am Chisum Chinedu. Good morning to you.
Beef Udala Radio 104.7 FM.
Microfinance Bank, banking the Wejio. Alotuko Microfinance Bank, banking Maramba. Banking the Bego, Anoya. Alotuko Noya. Anoya.
Olojuku Microfinance Bank, they're here to make that your dreams come true. We get different loans so with the offer where you fee use boost out your business, make you make more money. Our asset loan fee help you get one sharp keke na pepe like this. We get salary account loans for civil servants, agricultural loans for farmers, micro loans for small businesses, and SME loans for bigger businesses. We also get all types of accounts them, savings, current, and fixed deposit. Make you match come our head office today for Basilica Square, Basilica of the Most Holy Trinity on Nature, and our other branches